All right, we survived the earthquake of 2011. I don't know if you guys heard about that. So we're back. We're going to catch up with the numbering. It's episode 9 actually, and we're going to make some chili. Now there's a lot of different ways to make it. A lot of historical Texas chilies. You know, they say don't use beans. Cincinnati chili uses a lot of spices like cinnamon. The main components you need to have for a good chili is basically meat, peppers, and some sort of chili powder based, cumin based. So with that, you can really do anything you want. People make it with turkey, people make it with venison. I've even seen people make it with filet mignon. Now we don't have that kind of budget, so we're just going to make a pretty simple chili. And we'll go over to the ingredients here. We've got 3 pounds of ground beef. That kind of breaks one of the rules using ground beef, but so what? It's my kitchen, my rules. You guys can do it however you want. We've got a large onion just diced up there, a green bell pepper diced up. This is about the equivalent of 3 jalapenos. That's going to give it a little bit of kick to it. 2 Roma tomatoes. For our seasonings, we're going to use some adobo. That's got salt and some cumin. Cumin seed. This is an ancho chili powder, just a good mild chili powder. We've got some cayenne pepper and black pepper, just a little bit of small can of tomato sauce just to give it a little color. And here's the controversy. It's going to come later on, but I'm going to add pinto beans to it. So let's go ahead and get started in our pot over here. We're going to start sauteing our vegetables a little bit to get them going. Just pour everything right into the pot there, and we're going to cook everything together. And this does take a little while. I mean, ideally you want to let everything go. Once you add the meat, you want to let it go for about an hour to get everything to break down good. And then like I said, we're just going to... Alright, so our vegetables are pretty well sauteed together, so we're going to add in the meat. You just want to dump this right in and let it break up. And then what we're going to do, let that go. When the meat starts to brown up, that's when we're going to add our spices in, because we want to let everything come together from the beginning. So just kind of break it up in the pot. Again, some people, they use meat, they cut it up in chunks. I'm just using a ground beef. So we're going to let that go and get cooking, so we'll be back in a few minutes. Alright, you can see all our meat and vegetables are pretty well browned up, and I drained a little bit of the grease off. I left some in there for the flavor. So now we're going to start adding our spices. So we're going to take some adobo and just a few good shakes of that, maybe a teaspoon, a heavy teaspoon. The chili powder, that's going to be the main component, so we're going to open it up and just start dumping it in there. Probably a good 2 tablespoons there. The cumin seed, that's got a lot of flavor, so we're going to go heavy with that too. Just go ahead and start pouring that in, maybe a good teaspoon, because there's some cumin in the other spices. And then our red pepper, we're just going to add a little bit of that because we're already getting some heat from the jalapeno. So again, maybe half a teaspoon there. I'm going to go ahead and add our can of tomato sauce, get that in there. And just to kind of help make it a little saucy, we're going to add some water. Just enough to really kind of cover the meat up, so probably 1.5 cups, almost 2 cups. And we're going to mix everything together, all the seasonings in with everything. And this is where you're going to let it simmer. Like I said, at least half an hour, maybe even an hour, to really get everything to come together. The liquid will cook down a little bit. You can kind of keep an eye on it. If it's getting too thin, or you're running out of water, you don't want it to burn, so you can add a little bit more in. But like I said, let it go for at least half an hour before you check on it, and go ahead and put a lid on and just let it go, and then we'll be back and see how it is. Alright, so we're about half an hour in, and we're going to just check on it there. Everything looks, boiling or simmering. Just give it a little stir. So we still got some pretty good moisture in there. If you leave the lid on the pot, all the steam will come back into the pot. If you crack it off a little bit, steam will rise up. So this keeps a lot of the moisture in the chili there. So here comes the big controversial part. Time to add the beans. They're already cooked. This is just a canned pinto bean. I rinse them off because they always pack them with lard or some sort of sauce. So I just want to add a can of beans right in there. And you want to do this, you know, just a little bit before you think you're going to eat. So we're probably going to let this go another half hour. You know, the beans will help the sauce thicken a little bit as they heat up. So again, just mix everything together. If you want to add anything else in here, like I said earlier, it's entirely up to you. I've seen people put corn in, mushrooms, squash. This is just a little more basic how I like to do it. But, you know, like I said, it's your kitchen, it's your rules, whatever you want to do. So we're going to go ahead and put the lid back on and let that go for a little while longer. When we get back, like I said, probably leave it for at least another half hour to simmer. And when we get back, we'll go ahead and plate it up. All right, so we've let this simmer for a little over an hour now. Everything's mixed together well. So what we're going to do now, there's a lot of different controversy on how you actually serve chili. Some people say it's just in a bowl by itself. What I'm going to do, I've got a bowl right there, but I'm going to put some sticky rice in the bottom. You'll see in Cincinnati, they'll serve it over spaghetti. You can use different kinds of pastas as well. Again, it's just however you like it. That's what's great about chili. So you're going to come in here with a ladle and just get maybe 2 good scoops right into your bowl there. And you can top it. You'll see chopped onions, cheese, jalapenos, sour cream. I'm just going to take a little chopped green onion and just sprinkle that right over the top there. And you can serve this even with some tortilla chips or some corn tortillas. So there you go. There's chili. Alright, there you go. That was just a real basic chili we made. I definitely enjoyed cooking it. I'm definitely going to enjoy eating it. I hope you enjoyed watching it. If you have any comments or questions, suggestions, feel free to leave me a comment on Facebook or YouTube. As always, we'll see you next time. Take care.